Listen, you said it, not me.
I've actually made a pact with the Twitch witch, uh, who will bless us.
No, you weren't supposed to reveal your patron yet. God.
Gosh.
All right. Well,
I've already
hello
made the
everybody, and welcome to this week's semi-belated indoor adventure. Normally we play on Mondays, but yesterday was a series of fortunate and slightly unfortunate circumstances. Only unfortunate if you are Cyberwolf's luggage.
Oh no.
Other than that, it was a happy Labor Day. So I'm glad that we were able to figure out a good day to come by and give you guys this week's installment of Indoor Adventures because we have an amazing guest with us. We have Christy, also known as Very Random Butterfly on Twitter from the Tales of Swordfall podcast. I would have them wave at you, but they can do so in spirit because we don't have a good webcam up, but we do have some amazing art, as always, provided by Wings to show you all what Jingle looks like.
Ooh, sorry again for the lack of webcam, but yeah.
Don't even worry about it. All right, so last we left off, you guys had accepted the mission to take care of some fishmen that had been bothering some fishermen. And upon going to investigate it, you found a cave with some boxes containing a few ornate daggers, precisely 5 ornate daggers, one of which Gwen kept. The other found itself in Caelum's possession after the attempt at an identify spell, and then Blake currently has the remaining 3. After investigating around this cave for around 30 minutes or so, you started hearing the sounds of your boat getting pulled back out into the water, and when you looked around, there were 2 what looked to be aquatic elves staring back at you. They spoke in a very strange language that you guys couldn't really comprehend, but through a series of pictographs and body movements, you were able to find out that these fish people wanted to take you to their king, or at least their ruler of some degree. So, convincing you all, not with much difficulty, to hop into the water with them and then swim through a subterranean cave, they thought that they had gotten the better of another set of adventurers and attempted to slash out at you with claws and weaponry, and even summoned 2 sharks to their aid. But they were unsuccessful in their attempts to thwart our intrepid adventurers, and as a result, one of the fishmen was able to escape out to sea. Thinking to yourselves that you would like to create a situation that would be more advantageous, where you could get a better view of these fish people, you went onto the onto the cave mouth, roughly 20 feet above the water, where you were going to wait in lieu of any fishmen that seemed that would possibly swim by underneath. With Caelum and Gwen taking their first watch together. However, that did not go nearly as well as our party thought it would, and Caelum got speared through the chest with a harpoon and then ripped into the water, where he almost faced an inky blackness known as character death. Thankfully, that was not the case, because you guys were really quick on your steps and didn't let Justin roll that second death save. As he informed me later, it was actually a second nat 1. So, y'all saved Caelum. Good job. So, having fought that marrow, you guys were able to successfully kill him and dragged his body ashore and looted him, where you found a very nasty looking ritualistic dagger, as well as a tarnished metal chalice that had a set of 6 stones, these greenish red stones, embedded into the chalice itself. And that is where we ended last week's session, with you guys kind of collapsed on the beach. RJ, you had your hand raised? Okay, cool. Yeah, so we are going to start. You guys had actually gone from the beach about 10 minutes away from shore just to play it safe before camping out for the night. And so, do you guys want to do watches as you rest up for the evening?
Yeah.
Oh, I've taken half a bottle of that catnap.
Okay, yeah. You definitely drank some catnap to numb the pain, which caused you to pass out onto the ground surrounding you guys. And for Christy, and also any new viewers, catnap was a drug-alcohol combination that was used in the Zesty Anchor Tavern in the city of Shroudport on our crew's first night. When they met each other, causing the majority of a bar to pass out into a drug-induced catatonia for roughly 10-20 minutes before waking up.
So basically, just a drug-induced coma, more or less.
Yeah.
So,
It was a really, really deep sleep.
who needs a NyQuil when you have that?
Mm-hmm.
Make great decisions on this stream.
So many.
So yes, Caelum has drank the drugs and has passed out onto the ground. After, of course, finding himself a comfy place to kind of pass out into, leaving Blake, Cori, and Gwen to determine your watches for the evening.
Cori and I can take the first watch.
Oh, okay. Yes, I guess we will then.
All right. I kind of roll up into a little ball in the grass, and I have my weapons out, and I'm not necessarily cuddling them, but like.
Do you turn in like a little circle first?
Yeah.
You don't have access to a body pillow, but your axe is big enough that you can still kind of get like the general.
Yeah.
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 For sure. All right. So, after about 20-30 minutes, Caelum, you went from passed out in pain to I'm just gonna sleep this off, and you actually it's very weird from Cori's perspective, as well as from your party members, because you are. Did you get him?
No.
I'm sorry. But it's kind of weird because you are the first elf that they have actually seen sleeping. They've seen elves meditating before, but you are just like, you're just out. You're having a good nap.
Zonked.
But yeah, so we will go to our first group on watch as Gwen has cuddled up for the evening and Caelum is just going through the motions.
Such a peculiar boy. So, that was pretty powerful pretense to get me alone and talk to me. Did you have anything you wanted to say, Blake?
I feel powerless, I guess.
What are you talking about? Absolutely not. You do that thing where you set the crossbow on fire and you've done amazing things, Blake. Look at you. And she'll like kind of reach up and try to take his hood off and then like, realize that the horns aren't going to let that happen. And she's just kind of like, you're gorgeous, Blake. You're an absolutely gorgeous creature.
I'm not asking for affirmation. I'm asking for information.
Okay. What do you have in mind?
I don't feel as if I helped out against what we thought were elves. I let Caelum down.
I disagree. You were one of the two of us who knew how to swim, but you're not looking for affirmation, you're looking for information. Go on.
Many of the other hunters in my order, they made pacts with other entities, other powers. Powers such as the Archfey.
Oh.
What do you know about the Archfey?
Okay. They are very powerful beings from the Feywild, and they range from mildly selfish to very, very dangerous. You need to be very careful about this. You need to pick the right one if you're absolutely committed to this line of power. This is very serious, Blake. What do you know any Archfey? Who do you have in mind?
I haven't even really begun to think of it. I was more asking what you knew, but
you're just ripe for getting taken in by some malicious being. Okay.
well, I figured you had a little bit more faith in me, but
Blake, the wisest and most intelligent and strongest among us can still be taken in by the most malicious. And she kind of like looks off into the distance as she says that, and kind of like crosses her arms and looks really perturbed for a minute. Okay. I know a few that you could probably consider.
okay.
But there are others that you absolutely should not go near.
So you'll help me.
I will try.
Thank you. We can talk about it later. I'm just not in a good place right now. I really don't. I don't even know if I can really be an asset to the team in this state. Thank you for listening.
No, anytime. You've been a good friend to me, Blake.
He'll like smile with that jack-o'-lantern smile of his, but it's, yeah. It would intimidate and terrify anybody but Cori.
Yep. But like she'll give him a half-hearted smile, but she's still seeming really perturbed about this whole affair. Which is weird for Cori.
Especially springtime Cori.
Exactly. And in fact, I think this might be enough to start fading her back to autumn at this point.
Kind of the more serious, like, needs to make sure that, yeah.
Yep. Not a lot to be happy about right now.
You say, kind of like looking over at Caelum, who just has like this giant hole. Kind of like it's still like healed, but there's definitely some bandages that have been applied. And
there's a hole in the armor, probably.
Yeah, it's definitely going to take at least a little bit of a mending spell to kind of put right. But really not that hard to find somebody willing to do that for very minimal coin. And yeah, your guys' watch goes by fairly uneventfully. You can kind of just hear the waves crashing from about 10 minutes from where you guys are, just kind of off in the distance. There still is that smell of salt water, but it's also kind of mixed with the earthen smells of the forest, as you guys have kind of backed up more like 10 minutes away from the ocean to kind of find yourself at least a small collection of trees to kind of take cover under. As you know, or the ones of you that are from this plane, so everyone excluding Cori, knows that this general area does rain quite frequently, as is apparent with a lot of the lush foliage that you have kind of been seeing along your journey. So you guys waking up Gwen, or at least Blake and Gwen swapping places, because Cori, since you meditate, you don't really need to take as long of a you can take a longer watch since you're able to sleep for more.
Yep. So Cori and Gwen will take a watch.
Mm-hmm.
At least nobody attacked us while I was sleeping.
Yes, that's fortuitous.
Has he been thrashing at all? And I kind of Caelum.
I don't know, has he?
No, I mean he has one of those like the puppy dreams sometimes where you'll see like his arms twitch a little bit, or like a like it's again it's very weird seeing an elf just full on sleeping, like eyes not open in the trance like state, just catching some Z's.
I'm gonna
Catching
go
some
over.
dream harpoons.
I'm gonna take a look at his wounds and see if they're healing as they should.
Yeah, no. Thanks to the holy powers that kind of have been more apparent with Cori lately, she was actually able to heal up all of the damage that had been done onto Caelum from the harpoon. So it if anything, it looks more like a good icebreaker. Or like a way if you wanted to show like, hey, look at this sweet battle I was in. You have this like big scar on your chest.
Yeah.
That is very much what he has going on right now.
Okay. He's gonna have a sweet ass scar from this. I bet he's gonna get all the bitches.
Probably.
His outfit is torn, right?
There is a break in, like, he was wearing. You were wearing a chain shirt. What armor were you wearing? Yeah, so there is a, like, the chains are supposed to diffuse a lot of bludgeoning damage, like a lot of arrow missile based attacks. But this kind of just poked right through it and then caught against the back. So it didn't break the chainmail on the backside, as it wasn't able to actually break out of that, but it did go through the front side.
Okay. And are you wearing clothes on top of your chain?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm wearing scale mail. So.
Oh. So as one of the scales is like a couple of the scales have just kind of been like broken in, and same on the back. There is a clear exit to where it came out of.
Yeah. Are you wearing any like clothing on top of that?
No, it'd be the scale mail, then like some leather pants and boots, and then his cape. Oh no, his cape.
That has the cool tatters on it.
Ah.
R.I.P. cape.
All right, I'm gonna mom here a little bit, and I'm gonna go behind him and start trying to fix his cape by sewing it together.
All right, make a. You don't have proficiency in like, no, I didn't think so. So just make a sleight of hand check, as this is more about nimbleness of fingers.
Right. Yeah, that's not terrible. Ooh, that's a dirty 20.
Nice.
Hey.
So yeah,
Friendship 20.
Yeah.
So you managed to. I mean, it's not the best. Like, it's not the best. Like, you don't have the right tools for it, but for what you had, which was just some spare thread from one of your 100 pockets, as well as a needle from one of your other pockets, you were kind of able to figure something out together. You've used this is more like a surgical thread that you've used to like sew up gashes that you've gotten versus for clothes, but multi-purpose.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do that for a while.
All right. So, Caelum, you are having some weird dreams, and it's this isn't the first time that you've slept by any means. Mostly because how you were raised was very much not in the traditional elven sense, as from your upbringings in the temple. And one of the things that was kind of actually more forced and insisted upon you was to have the regular sleeping hours that every growing boy was so desperately in need of. So your caretaker always ensured that you were in bed and asleep by X time throughout the day, and then made sure that you were up and ready during the next day as well. But in this dream, you're kind of back on that same plateau that you were previously from your meditation the night before, where a large door had revealed itself and then opened up to a large library that was also full of just books upon books upon books, just stacks of shelves as high as they could possibly go. And at the ceiling, you had seen your goddess's eyes kind of acknowledge you as you came in, and it was very much there was format to this dream. There was a general sense, or to this meditative vision, there was a general sense of what was going on, where you needed to go. This feels very much much more chaotic, where standing on this plateau, you feel the ground kind of give way underneath you, almost like you were falling backwards. And you tumble through darkness, being passed by vibrant colors, seeing glimpses of lives that you've never lived, lives that you aren't sure you could have possibly ever lived. You see at one point there is a green-skinned scale man, like locked in hand-to-hand combat with another kind of darker-skinned looking lizard man. And you would know these to be lizard men and not, as they don't have the very draconic markings like Blake has. And you see these two fighting. You see others, other elven peoples either riding on the back of a large animal sprinting through the woods, or others that are engaged in trade. And you're just getting all of these. It's like a burst of visions, almost like the floodgates and bars of what you would normally experience have just been completely lifted, and you're seeing them all for the first time, just back to back to back to back to back, until eventually, as you continue tumbling, that descent slows, and you feel ground underneath your feet again after experiencing this weird kind of tumultuous vertigo, as you don't have a center of balance when you're falling in a vacuum, like you do as a person, but that is really all that you have. No sense of up or down, but you feel your feet take place against the ground again. And when you look up and around you, it takes a little bit for your eyes to focus in again, but you see that there are 8 or 7 figures all sitting around in a circle with an opening facing you. And they are all wearing hoods and cloaks that have the same coloration as the robes that you wear, although they are slightly different. Some look like their colors are a little bit more faded. Others have colorations that just don't... They don't look new, and the designs kind of making up these patterns don't look like anything that you've seen except on probably the more ancient texts that you had lying in your library. And as you kind of look up at this group of 7 that's all sitting on the ground, each one on this deep blue sitting pillow, all around in a circle with a I believe it's a sconce. No, sconce is the wall one, with a brazier. With a brazier in the middle of the room that has a stone base, and then a large silvered bowl with a flickering blue flame that just seems to be sitting there, and you see six of these figures all reading by the light of this blue flame. And you see one of them that has taken notice of you, just looks up and says, "Brother, welcome," and motions you towards the pillows.
Where is this? Who are you people?
In time. Would you like one to gaze upon your own tome?
I turn toward emotions.
And you see there is a spot in this group of 7 that is open for an 8th to sit. There is a pillow just like theirs, and there is a book that is closed with a single raven feather lying atop it that he beckons to for you to sit down at.
If I look down at myself, am I like wearing my armor? Am I
Yeah.
clothed in like clothes?
Yeah, you are wearing what you slept in, what you decided to take your catnap in.
Do I have that giant gash in my chest still?
You look down, and the armor has kind of reformed over itself. Like it looks like it's whole. You go and touch it to see like, oh, is my wound still there? And you can feel that your armor is kind of formed back together.
Okay. He looks at the book, at the pillow, and then the people, and just starts slowly reaching out for it.
Okay. And so he, as you go to reach down for it, he just,
Sit. Welcome to the temple.
and you sit down and reach out for your book again. And as you go to reach out for it, you see the feather actually lift up. And as it does, the cover of the book actually lifts up with it. And as it continues lifting up, you hear what sounds like thousands upon thousands of fluttering wings as raven feathers just begin shooting out of this book, and just filling your field of vision, filling all of your senses. Just this all-encompassing sound.
Can I just reach out and slam it closed?
Yes, and as you go to reach out with your hand to slam it close, you feel your hand connect to the cover, and as it connects, that's when you wake up from your dream, and you kind of have this cold sweat as you wake up early in the morning to Gwen and Cori doing their Cori's meditating, as you would have needed to do that at least at one point. So Gwen, if you would like, this could be when you were finishing up sewing Caelum's cloak. So yeah, Caelum, you wake up with a start to Gwen, needle and thread in hand, working on your cloak.
Oh, Caelum sits bolt upright, looks around and starts scrambling backwards.
Well, it's just me. Calm down. Put both hands up. It's all right.
Ah!
Are you? Oh, dude. Okay. All right. Lay back down, man. Lay back down. You all right there, buddy?
Where are we?
I mean, we're far away from the water. We had the fish thing, remember? You got stabbed pretty bad, and then you went to sleep, and then we walked up here and you went to sleep a different time.
Okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I guess.
Like physically or emotionally?
I'm fine. Thank you.
And she kind of looks and pats her. Do you need something? I don't know. This is Cori's thing. I fixed your cape, and I hold it up.
Inspect.
Make an investigation check or a perception check, depending on how scrutinous you want to be on this.
I'll just do a normal perception, just like a glance. I'm still reeling from the dream,
Mm-hmm.
which collapsed. Oh wow, okay, dirty 20.
Wow.
Okay. So you know that the stitching being used is very crude. This isn't the thread that you would pick if you had your choice. But the fact of the matter is that it's actually a very quality job. You would recognize that this stitching is more of a stitching for a medical purpose rather than for cosmetic cloth fixings. But all in all, it is a very quality job. Onto your cloak that now has its first mark of battle.
Caelum just like reaches out and takes it and presses it to his chest. Thanks, Gwen.
You're welcome. You want breakfast?
Yes. I would love something to eat because now my head is pounding.
Oh, you want some? You shouldn't have taken that cat nap. I mean, I know you don't do drugs or like alcohol, but that's pretty much what happens. I mean, you kind of needed it, but
You know, the monks did say moderation in all things, but I think in that situation, a little...
yeah, no, it's cool. We should learn how to swim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should learn how to swim.
At some point. I'm gonna start cooking over the fire.
Cam will like get up
Making
and hobble
Awkward
over.
silence.
Okay. So make I want to say a survival check
Survival.
to make a quality breakfast.
Oh, I'm proficient at it, so let's see. It's a 5.
You are getting help by a party member.
Ooh.
As Caelum has said that he is helping you with breakfast.
It's a 6.
Okay. So Blake and Cori, you guys wake up to what looks like bacon that has like flames on it. Like you've never seen this happen before, but there's like the smell of like far too burnt food.
Oh shit.
And it's Caelum and Gwen both over this like cast iron skillet that they've put on top of the fire, just doing their best to try and make breakfast for their friends. But this is very much a 5-year-old on Mother's Day situation.
Shit. Get the water.
Just like starts uncorking like a flask and then no wait,
That's wine.
flambe the burnt.
I fall back. The bacon goes flying. I kind of sit up and I look around.
The bacon is now on my head.
Oh shit!
It's like right in the middle.
Slaps it off.
We'll order out. How about that?
Learn to swim, learn to cook.
Right. Step 1, step 2. Yeah. I don't usually make my own breakfast, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, look! The sleepyheads are up.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey.
Breakfast.
Yeah.
We've
I look
got
around for the bacon.
bread and cheese.
And dried meats.
Delicious.
Quietly kicking the burnt bacon away off.
Yeah.
We partake of breads and cheeses.
Everyone sleep well?
I don't sleep.
Caelum's just like 1,000 yards staring. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Where are we headed?
Right. Back to the fish duder. The fisher man, not the fish man, right?
Yes, we should go and tell him everything that happened.
Do we have his boat?
We have his boat.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's right here.
Okay,
Is
cool.
the
You guys
problem
did
solved,
carry it.
though?
Wait, was that?
Is the problem actually solved, or do we think that it's solved?
Well, at least one got away.
We're gonna put a pin in it. I think. Because one of us got very, very badly hurt, and I
Right.
think that, you know, we are, you know, I think we're justified in
Yeah.
taking a break here.
Break. Right. Okay.
At the very least, I feel like we made lots of headway. We'll let him know that we've made tons of progress. Several monsters dead.
Sharks.
And yep, sharks, and not sea elves, and
Not sea elves.
yes, they weren't sea elves, not at all. And so we'll go back and let them know.
Right. Do we have to ride in the boat? Because we're just going up the coast, right?
It would be a
Well-
lot faster.
It would be faster, yes.
Oh. All right.
I mean,
I
we'd
like
have to
rowing.
carry the boat. You like
I
that?
mean-
Okay.
I got that. I want to do that.
All right, Captain Blake.
Which are we doing? Carrying the boat
Oh, in the water.
in the water.
Yes.
Yeah.
Setting sail,
Sure.
rowing away.
As we walk down, I'm going to not that it'll do anything, but I'm standing in front of Caelum, like making like a bodyguard sort of situation.
You know, if they were going to use another harpoon, they'd just go over your head.
You know what? I'm trying here. I'm making an effort.
It's appreciated, really.
Thank you.
I mean, she might catch you.
I might catch the frickin' thing, the trident. You know, you never know. You don't know what I'm capable of.
Okay.
That's right. Jumped in after your sorry ass, didn't I?
You can't swim.
That's what makes it so heroic, obviously.
There is a fine definition between heroic and moronic, and we are riding the fine line.
Well, point one, you didn't die. Point two, you didn't get dragged into the deep, because if I hadn't, you would get pulled down even farther, and I didn't drown. So, 3 points is a win, right?
Slightly moronic. Got it.
And it's about that time that you guys crest over the small hill to get back onto the sandbar, where you
Perception check.
can. Okay. Make a perception check.
16.
I'm guessing this is to look for more fish people and not
Yeah,
just
that's
observing the scenery.
No.
Chewing
Okay.
the scenery.
So, yeah, with your perception check, looking around, you can see that some seagulls have started pecking away at the remains of the marrow that you kind of just left on the sand. His body was not meant to stay out on land for extended periods of time, so you can see that it's already starting to dry out. There's just a pool of kind of like rainbowish liquid, but kind of like oil that's just sort of leaking from him back out into the ocean as the waves just splash up against his body. And other than that, you guys don't see any signs of continued foot passage or anything of the sort passing by Echo Shore Cave or passing by this slain creature.
Cool. Our boat's still there?
Oh, we took the boat with us.
Oh, right.
Yep. Yeah, so you guys have placed the boat back out onto the water and are making your way now rowing, returning to our fishman friend. And so we're going to fast play this to get you guys back towards the city. So upon returning to the fishman, he is currently away. But Earl said that if you guys made it back, his dad was going to give you the money for helping him out with his problem. After you kind of explained to him the situation of like, we got most of them. Earl kind of like looks at you, looks a little dejected, and then offers. He says that his pa would be a little bit upset if you guys got a full day's pay for not doing the entire job, but he's willing to part with 125 gold pieces instead of the initially agreed upon 150 in total, as one of the creatures got away. And he looks a little nervous about that. But when you let him know that you got the big one, that seems to be enough for him. So you guys, I'm assuming, thank him for your reward, and then start heading back to town. And from where you are, you could see the city pretty much the entire time where you guys were. Like, from wherever you were, the city, like, you could see the city's walls, and at night you could see the lighthouse making sweeps across the bay where Shroudport is kind of nestled up into. And you guys return to the city, and it always seems like it's different guards who are at the gates, as they don't really they shift around enough in their stations that you don't really see the same ones all too often. But I mean, 3 of you also came here only a couple days ago. So, and Gwen, you don't really leave the city all that much. So the top of the top of the city guards, they are just kind of faces at this point. And you continue onward, and they don't really give you any trouble. Seeing as how they saw you go out yesterday and then return with some battle damage, they're just assuming you're adventurers at this point. And if anything, one of them asks, "Oh, did you find anything? Did you find anything fun while you were out getting that hole in your chest?"
Look, sir, just let us through, okay?
No trouble, no trouble. He just puts his hands up and lets you guys go on. He was simply curious. And so you make it. So you make it a good hour down into town. I'm assuming that you guys were all probably going to the Zesty Anchor, as that seems to be your home base right now. Mm-hmm. And when you get towards the market district of town, what does our dear friend Jingle see? This four walking forward. So if you could describe yourselves for Jingle. As Jingle, you have seen your halfling friend Gwen and recognize them in the market district.
Yes. Hi, Gwen.
What's up? Hey, guys, come here.
All right.
Call everyone over.
And so when you call them over, Blake, what does Jingle see?
So he's approaching cautiously this 6'8" tall humanoid. You do see a black draconic tail sweeping behind him, and 2 large horns sprouting out between holes in his army green hood. And as you look up, you can definitely see a what looks like a black dragon's face. The skull like patterns, the yellow eyes, like he's pretty terrifying. But he's just approaching nervously and cautiously. It's just like, hello? Who are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't kind of introduce myself. She's just kind of ruffling her feathers while saying that. I'm Jingle.
Jingle. Nice to meet you. I'm Blake.
Blake?
Yeah.
And she stretches out her hand or feather or whatever you'd like to call it, and just reaches out to shake hands.
As you
grabs
see a kenku, a little blackbird person, with red feathers kind of underneath their eyes, more towards the back, looking back up at you.
Isn't she cute? This is my friend. Guys, see? Told you, I have friends. Caelum. Jingle.
Hi, I'm Caelum. Nice to meet you. And Jingle sees a very pale-skinned, like, not quite drow-looking elf kind of person wearing this sort of leather and scale mail armor that's very drab in color.
Oh, howdy.
Hello. And as Coriander approaches to and like probably bends down to look at Jingle because she's a decent amount taller than her. Coriander is also an elf, but like her skin, hair, her eyes, pretty much as everything is in shades of like yellow and orange and red, just kind of like autumn, like an autumn flavored elf. And she just looks real happy to see you.
Pumpkin spice latte elf.
She is a
Thank you.
PSL elf. PSL.
Yeah, got there.
She just kind of attempts to reach out and shake hands, I'd imagine. I don't know.
Yeah, what's up? What's up, Jinx? What's up? What are you doing around here?
She's kind of looking a little flustered, kind of worried about something. She's like, there's a bit of a situation.
Where?
That is a good question. I already got to her. Well, just in general, my brother's gone.
Jangle?
Jangle.
Your twin brother Jangle?
Mm-hmm. And she starts kind of sobbing a little.
Oh, no, okay, it's all right. And I kind of just pat, like, your belly, because, you're 5 feet tall? No, I could pat your shoulder. I pat your shoulder, and I just, it's all right. Is this, like, another one of the drunken vendors sort of missings? Or is he, like, with a lady missing? Or is he, like...
Kidnapped by creeps missing.
Like, you saw him kidnapped?
Well, not exactly, but, some creeps try to attack him. Well, I can't even speak right. 3 freaks tried to kidnap me. Now he's gone. So I have my guesses that they took him.
Oh, no. All right, guys. We're doing this. We're doing this right now. I don't care what else we're doing. We're doing this right now.
Lead the way.
No, we have to help her. She's like her brother could be in danger.
Who tried to hurt you? Tell me what they look like, and I will kill them. I will kill them so fast.
Well, I don't know what they look like for their faces, but one was a dragonborn, one I think was a half orc, and the other was an elf. They were wearing masks.
Like paper masks?
Paper masks.
Oh.
Wait, when did this happen?
About sometime around midnight, right?
Yeah, it would have been midnight.
Last night?
Yes.
Where were you?
Well, I was out and about making my runs.
Right, obviously. Yeah.
And these 3 weirdos approached me. They tried to kidnap me. I kind of shook my tail to try to run away. I ran away. And yeah, next thing I knew, my brother was gone.
These sons of bitches. First they come for us, now they come for my friends?
It's the cheeses men again.
I'm going to have to put aside the wine thing. Let's bust in this place. Where is the big cheese located?
Well, and she pulls out like the map, and she's like, ooh. I imagine she just sprawls it out on the ground like, all right. Based on what I have, I think they would be about here. And she points to like the general direction.
And looking down, the four of you see a very expertly handcrafted map of what looks like the city's layout as a whole. And Gwen, you would know this to be Jingle has actually been working on creating a map of the city and completed the map of the city, but then because of the nature of being kind of a cut purse, it made more sense to also start drawing out a map of the sewers. And in the and when she pulls out the sewer map, you can see that towards about midway, it like not very far actually from where you guys are in terms of surface to sewer and then moving around in there, that there is an indicator leading off down an open, like a little indicator for an open set of tunnels with an arrow kind of pointing towards it.
Okay. All right. Are you going to come with us, or are you too freaked out, man?
I don't want to be left alone.
Obviously.
Just
Okay.
kind of like ruffling her feathers again, like she's panicking.
It's okay. We will get your brother back, won't we, guys?
Oh, precisely.
Before we do that, though, could I like get this repaired? This is sort of a flaw in the defense area if we have to fight.
I'm going to grab him by the chainmail. This is life or death! This
Yes,
is my
this
friend!
is life or death.
How fast can you fix it?
How fast can
With
I
a
fix
mending spell, it would take about 10 minutes to fix.
About 10 minutes.
Then
Jingle,
do
in
it!
the meantime, is just kind of prancing around with
guess
like
I'll-
snobby eyes, like, come on.
I'll hoof it as fast as I can to the nearest mender and throw gold at them to quickly do this.
Yeah, so you actually see that there is there's an elven armor smith who is working at a store called Bloodbath and Beyond, and he's just sort of like he's hammering away at an item that he's currently working on, and when you appear, just it's a hole. He's like, just like you throw a gold piece at him, and he looks at it, just like, okay, and just like puts his hand up. Like he seems to get this a lot, but like he just puts his hand onto your chest, and like it's one of those like elevator waiting music kind of scenes where like he just has to sit there for 10 minutes and just kind of mend it up. So like, how'd this happen?
Harpoon through the chest.
Not bad. I mean, like, it looks pretty. That looks like a grievous wound. That does not look in the best spot. But I don't know. It kind of like looks at the scarring. It's like some spars that came out of this. That doesn't look like it was made with a good weapon at all. What were you fighting?
Fishman. Very big
I
fishman.
Get that. A lot of sailors come through here. A lot of fish people.
Yeah.
So
How long you been in business?
about 20 years.
Oh, nice.
Yes, it's been quality. You know, like this was my latest kick. Had some gold lying around with the family. Thought to myself, okay, you know, like maybe I should be a small
It's a
business
startup.
owner. Yeah, it's a startup, but you know, like it was really just like me and a friend. But the friend ended up falling for somebody in the city. They couldn't afford the commitment. You know, like I can just do it all myself. I really don't need other people. It's fine.
Yeah, more power to you.
Yeah.
Just looking down at it.
Oh, and it's done.
I can keep the change,
All right.
and he runs away.
Thanks so much. Have a good day. Tell your friends.
It's already gone.
Yep. And so then after 10 minutes of you guys like cut to just like people running around in a circle frantically, like trying to figure out more about trying to get into the lair of what you would believe to be the big cheese himself. That is when Caelum shows up.
Hi. Sorry. Startup. Guy who's talking.
Right. Thank you for being quick. All right. We're gonna go down there. We're gonna kill this mofo. We're gonna get the friend back. We're gonna get your brother, and kill anyone on the way. Right?
We're going to do several of those things.
Early.
We'll try not to kill people if we can help it, but you know, sometimes things happen.
And loot the corpses.
Whoa, okay. Well,
All right. That's her. She's back.
I guess this is gonna be that type of day.
You said this is my friend, guys. My friend.
No, I'm beginning to pick up on that. Yep. Okay. All right. It'll be fine. We can handle
No
it.
worries. We'll buy drinks with the money.
Obviously.
Yeah. After the brother. After my
Let's
brother.
go before I change my mind.
All right, we're gonna head to the sewer.
All right, so with Jingle's map of the majority of the sewer as well as the city itself, it takes you guys maybe 20 minutes to find a sewer entrance that isn't heavily viewable. As kind of like creeping down into the sewers is something typically seen, or that's typically seen by nefarious no-gooders. So the fact that you guys are now climbing into this sewer in a back alley, thankfully you've staked it out enough that nobody's really paying any attention to you or has seen you kind of going in as you are being led by your dear friend Jingle, who knows these city streets like the back of her hand. So you guys make it into the sewer, and it's very close quartered, I want to say. The roof, Blake, you kind of have to hunch down a little bit as it kind of goes upwards about maybe upwards to like 6'5" would be like the highest comfortable. So you were like just at the point where you kind of have to crink your neck down. You're going to be uncomfortable a lot during here, but it's very weird because the city itself is structured on a very fierce slope. And so the sewer itself also kind of had to be built up on top of each other. So there are different layers within the sewer as you continue going downward, as it goes into different repositories or down different flushways. But where you are is kind of like a enclosed catwalk. In that it's very thin, and you can see loose boards on the side, and looking down you can see what looks like other parts of the sewer that just weren't properly closed up or anything of that nature to kind of make it easier for maintenance, as a lot of sewers built on stilts seems like a really bad idea. You can even call it piss poor.
Funny.
But that is why it does need to be open, so that way the city maintenance crews can actually come in and take care of it effectively. But again, with Jingle's map that they have so expertly devised, you guys find your way to the opening. It's kind of weird. This is kind of why you think that the initial, like, a request that you had received was about unsanctioned construction within the sewer, as it just looks like a really unsafe and kind of unfeasible thing to do. But getting up near the entryway of this, you see that some of the wood panels that would normally be there for balance or just as a support have been shifted aside, and you can see that other wooden planks have been placed down into a hallway that looks like it is kind of being made with more a triangle shape to them, rather than relying on the structures above them to create a tunnel that leads deeper into the sewers. And Jingle,
Gross.
you would know that this is where you assume your brother was taken to.
I think he was about here. He should be.
Just have a look around then.
We'll get him. Don't worry. I'll hurt anyone that gets in our way. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, let me just move out of your way.
Not you. I like you guys. Enough. All right, and then walk ahead.
Have a look around.
All right.
I will be drawing my crossbow.
All right, sounds good. So looking down this expanse that's in front of you, it kind of, it's not a very straight path, as it's very difficult to kind of get in such a cramped and confined space. It's very difficult to get a straight pathway. But kind of looking around towards the extent of where your vision can normally go, as you are moving around in the dark. It's dark vision is very difficult, as I believe Gwen and Blake both don't have dark vision.
Correct.
And neither does Jingle, but our two elven friends do. So you guys are... there's a little bit of torchlight coming through the general sewer areas, as there seems to be lanterns that have been placed throughout it as an open flame in an otherwise wooden structure. Also seems like a very bad idea. Looking down this corridor, you can see that at the end it branches off into two paths. And that's about as far as your vision goes.
So where are we going?
She looks at her map again, I'd assume, and
Yeah, your map doesn't have anything past this point, as this is where you had seen them taking your brother, but you didn't want to risk going deeper into this construction area that was unsanctioned. You have no idea what's down there, but you know it wasn't made by the city.
well, the rest is kind of a mystery. I haven't quite mapped this area out.
That's okay.
Briander's eyes kind of light up and she's like, it's a dungeon delve then.
She kind of if Jingle kind of crouches behind Gwen, like, should I be worried?
I just roll with it. I'm not quite sure. She was pink yesterday, so it's like we're kind of just
Jingle
going.
kind of tilt her head like pink.
Yeah, I know. I mean, she's orange. I don't know. I think maybe it's like a mood swing thing, or like maybe it shows when she's in heat.
You're not far from wrong.
What do your elf eyes see?
There are two different ways that we could go.
Two hobbits lay here. Their hands were bound. Sorry.
What? That's an
Two
offensive
Isengard!
term,
No,
sir.
okay. We could go left or we could go right. We have two choices.
Is it like a flip the coin choice, or like can we educate a guess here?
I have no idea.
Right.
Could
Wait.
I do a perception check at this point?
You can make a perception check, sure.
Blake,
Alright.
you're a hunter, right?
Oh, that's true, actually.
Hunt.
I got a 3.
Find the bird
Okay,
person.
with your 3, this
Eyesight.
corridor looks somewhat intimidating, as you aren't sure what lies potentially at the end outside of adventure.
That's right, Blake. You have a lot of skills that you can contribute to the group all on your own.
Caelum looks wide-eyed at him.
I will light my crossbow so that I can see.
Oh, thank you.
And that same carmine red flame shoots out of my crossbow. Do I see any tracks, any signs of peoples?
Make a perception check.
Ooh, that would help if I had my sheet pulled up. That's a 6.
Okay, so with your 6, You are kind of getting distracted by the sound of waves that's kind of just echoing up through the sewers from beneath you. A wind kind of shoots by and flickers the carmine red flame that's at the end of your crossbow, and you're kind of getting a sense more about how high you are up in the sewer system, more so than where you would expect people to be going down one of these two branches.
They went this way.
All right.
And I'll just start going right.
All right, so you head down the right path, and as you go down that hallway, you can see that it extends down another very short hallway, and then immediately veers off to the left.
I go that way.
Okay. So you guys are all just sort of like trailing after Blake as he's leading the way with this lit crossbow. And you go forward. As you go forward, I would like for you to make a dexterity save. As you are walking forward, one of the floorboards actually breaks out from below you.
12.
Okay. So with a 12, are you trying to like hop back or forward?
Forward.
Okay. So yeah, you leap forward as the floorboard kind of breaks out from underneath you, and you just manage to hop over it before it fully breaks. Still allowing, like, if anything, it was going to just kind of like slide down, but with the weight of your draconic foot pushing it down, you just hopped forward. And so the rest of you now see this open floorboard between you guys and Blake. It only looks about 2 feet wide, like 2 feet total, from where you guys are standing to where Blake is. So it wouldn't be a very difficult leap or feat of acrobatics to get over it at this point.
All right. I do that immediately.
Okay.
Aha!
I'm there to catch people.
Okay.
What is my acrobatics? Hold on. Don't mind me moving my camera so I can...
Hey.
I can't see. My acrobatics. Oh, my athletics is better. Whoops. Okay. 12 for me.
Okay, yeah, 12 is totally fine. And it's after you hop over onto the other side that you then actually hear the wood of the panel clatter against something else from where it had fallen. So it looks like it's actually a very far ways down.
Whoa. All right, Jings.
All right. I roll a 15.
Okay, yeah, 15 is totally fine. You're able to hop over, no problem.
Yeah. Eee.
You're a beautiful creature. Caelum.
She kind of does like a theatrical bow.
You know, I'm heavier than you, so maybe you should go first, just in case.
What? Okay. You're not gonna like bail, are you?
No.
Totally bails.
No. Wow, he totally bailed. Yeah, I'm going to jump.
Okay.
I would like to. Oh, that's acrobatics, right? Oh, it's a 15.
Yeah, 15, you're totally fine hopping over. No issue.
All right, don't fall in the hole.
Oh, you spoke it, and now it is in the universe. Thank you.
Caelum's love.
A hop.
Skipping the jump.
Wait, is that Pip at the bottom or the Pip at the top? That's a Pip at the bottom. That's a 5.
Oh boy.
So Blake, you were helping people make their way over. So make a dexterity check to quickly grab your friend as your heavy cleric's armor just didn't allow for him to make the full leap.
Oh God.
What'd you get?
Bye, guys. Oh.
Oh no!
Bye,
Oh no!
guys.
The world wants Caelum dead!
I'm sorry! I should
The Raven Queen wants him back!
I'm so sorry.
Ring, ring, the Raven Queen called. She wants your Shatter Kai back.
Heard you been on walkabout for too long, boy. All right.
Back in the jail for you.
So, yeah, Caelum, you, you go to hop over, and your foot kind of slips on this slick board, and your arms go out, and they just start scrabbling at the boards, as, again, it's very wet and moist, so, as your fingers go, you're just pulling wood with your hands.
Can I try and strength them up? Since I was the last one to jump?
Yes, make a strength check. As Blake reaches down to try and get you, you're, it's one of those, come on, you can do this! And, your hands, are, you don't want to leave your hands on the boards. He tries to pull at your hood, but now your cape is just over your face.
Stop helping!
I got a 10.
Essentially.
All right, so with the 10, you are able to pull Caelum up.
Oh, Jesus! D&D Jesus!
Fang?
Hey.
Are you? I told you not to fall in the hole! Caelum!
Listen. I have nothing.
Okay. I kind of straighten his chain a little bit. You need to be more careful.
All right.
Now let's go, and I smack him on the butt.
Okay. So yeah, you guys, down this corridor, you see that there is another branch, another corridor that leads to the left. And then going up down that way, you also see that there's another slight corridor that leads to the leads to the right. But you can see that there are some lights actually coming from this new set of corridors. And that is where we are going to take our first break of the evening as you guys make it deeper into the layer of the big cheese.
Yeah.
I imagine while
Oh my God.
doing this whole thing,
It's an
Jingle's
actual-
just sketching out the layout to the whole.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just like
The big chief, it's a rat trap.
I love it.
Welcome to the world of the indoor adventurers, where the rules are made up and the pronunciations don't matter.
Oh.
Except when they do, because it's kind of important sometimes. So we are going to be back in hopefully 5 to 10 minutes. So until then, don't go anywhere. And if you guys are interested, it is the beginning of Subtober. So if anybody gifts a sub to another person, it only costs them $1 to continue that subscription through the next month. It's a pretty cool thing that Amazon is doing. I would also like to say thank you, Waza, for subscribing during that time. That's
Waza.
super cool. Thank you so much. Last I checked, we were at 98 followers, so we are only 2 away from starting up our 100 follower giveaway. So once that happens, I will be posting giveaway details, but 2 away. So come back from the break with a friend. Or just come back by yourself and enjoy the rest of the game. But we will see you guys shortly. So, till next time. We see you. Bye.
Don't end the stream.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Thank you for staying at the break. I'm sorry I didn't have any fun break time, easy listen-ins for you guys to listen up on. Pretzel's being weird, and I'm working on fixing it. So that way you guys aren't just sitting in 10 minutes of silence while we go off and do stuff, because I feel like that's
just
weird.
being a little too twisted right now.
All right. So where we last left off, Caelum almost fell down a trap sewer grate while they were going through the Big Cheese's maze. On their way to find Jingle's friend Jingle. And by friend, I mean brother. That's a very important distinction.
There is a very fine distinction between friend and brother, I bet.
Brother.
Brother.
You choose your friends.
You don't choose your family.
I got to choose mine.
That's true.
So we are going to start off with you guys who are staring at a stretch of hall that turns right, and you can see flames. Well, not like flames, but you can see light coming in from this area.
Let's not go that way.
That sound comes from off in the sewer somewhere. Just weird
Was
sewer
it a cat or
noise.
a child? Who knows?
Welcome
no.
to Shroudport.
All right, big buddy. You're leading us the right way. Where are we going?
I suppose towards the lights.
All right. Watch this. Jingle.
Yeah.
See if it's dangerous ahead. Make a check for chaps, please.
So would that be a perception?
That would be a perception check. Would you like to
Investigation?
would you like to be stealthy before going to investigate for traps, or are you just going to go investigate for traps?
You know, it's probably best to be stealthy when in doubt.
Okay. When in doubt,
All right.
stealth it out.
Stealth it out.
Yes. Alright, so I rolled 19.
Nice.
That's pretty good. All right. Sounds good. So, roll a perception check as you near the what looks like a split entranceway that goes into a hallway that extends outward, both left and right. But you can see that there is a lantern that's just hanging, just on a peg up above the floor, so that way there is light within this tunnel.
I rolled a 5.
Okay, so looking down the hallways, it goes towards the edges of your dark vision, and you can't really see anything down these hallways. But you don't see any traps. You don't see any fake to check for fake floorboards now, and you don't spot any of those. You think that the construction process could have been a little bit better, but I mean, at the same time, this doesn't look like it was a planned structure by any means. All right. So, would you like to explore deeper, or are you going to go back and tell your friends?
You know, I think she'd rather go back and report.
Okay.
Just to be safe, because who's to say they're not right around the corner?
It's very true.
Yeah. Well, good news and bad news. Good news, no traps. No traps at all.
Sweet.
Bad news, it's still pretty dark and mysterious, and yeah. I'm not going alone.
Oh, that's okay. No, you stay in the back or in the middle. No, you stay in the middle. You precious, precious thing. I'll take the front. Nope, can't see. We got to be flanked by elves. So elf in the front, elf in the back.
So,
I'll be right in front of you.
I'll take the front.
well, here's the thing. You have a sword that goes swishy swish inside of a tight tunnel. I have a spear that goes stabby stab in a tight tunnel.
Someone's gonna go stabby stab.
I mean, effectively, wide. Fine,
All right.
fine.
You can take the lead.
I'm just trying to be tactically sound here.
No, that's fine. You can totally take the lead. That'll be fine.
Steps on trap.
So
All right,
what's
let's
that
go.
one?
All right. So yeah, you turn the corner, going out into this hallway, and you can see make a just make a stealth check.
Oh,
Everyone.
not bad. 18.
Okay, so you see that at the end of one of
Oh
these
wait, no,
hallways...
sorry.
What?
Disadvantage scale mail. 3.
Thanks, universe. So you turn around the corner, and you look down, like having come fully around this corner, and you can see at the end of this long hallway that there are 2 humanoid figures that are sitting at a table, playing cards. And then as you come around the corner, just clanking and clamoring away, they both stop playing, look at you, and then one of them just shit and pulls out a hand crossbow and just fires it at you.
Wait. Shield up.
As the other one goes to grab at a scimitar that he had. So the crossbow does a 14 hit.
Just misses.
All right, so I would like for you guys to roll for initiative as you see this crossbow come out and strike out against your friend.
9.
Okay.
8.
Okay.
4.
Okay.
14. You want to say hi?
And Cori, what'd you get?
Can't hear you.
Oh,
There,
15?
there we go.
Yep.
I wasn't muted. I was just being quiet.
Sounds good. And then that guy. And evens out. One bandit got a 20 on initiative, and the other got a 1.
Nah. That means they go
Life
first in
finds
the
a
second
way.
turn.
So since you weren't exactly the most stealthy of person, I'm not going to say that was a surprise round because you saw them, they saw you, and then one guy whipped out a crossbow and hand crossbow and fired it at you. So he will have been the 20. So we'll go up next to Cori, who just sees Caelum being like, "I'm just trying to be tactically sound." Takes one step forward, gets shot at. Yeah, that is currently what you have seen.
All right.
As well as one guy saying, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, can I possibly get close to oh shit guy?
Yeah, you can definitely get close to oh shit guy.
All right, just gonna.
Yeah, he is. The hallway is about. Yeah, it's about like 35 feet long.
Okay.
From where you guys are, and they're in that 5 foot. They're in that last 5 feet, so you could move your full 30. And Jingle, that's why you weren't able to see them with your dark vision, because it only goes out. Your regular vision only reached the edge of the light.
Okay. So I imagine that Coriander was just like literally waiting for that to happen.
Yep.
So like she was ready. She just zoom right on over there. Let's give this guy a good stab with my sword, which I can stab with, and it's a nat 1.
Okay.
Never mind.
So yeah, you swing out with your nat 1, and this is one of those, like, the floor is still that like grimy texture. You're not used to your stance. You're more like that, like, sense of Eladrin pride came over you a little bit, where you're like, haha, of course the other elf would think their tactics more tactically sound and then get shot, not me. You rush forward and you go to slash, and you just completely miss it, and you see that they're these two are what looks like a human and a half-elf. They're not wearing paper mache masks at all or anything like that. It's just these two guys that, like, their eyes get really big as you just rush up on them and try and just stab one. But you do not find purchase. So next up is Gwen, who also just saw Caelum get shot.
Like, in her head, I can just picture, no, my sweet baby boy. She's gonna run as far as she can and try to attack someone.
Okay. So what is your movement speed?
25.
Okay, so 25, you would have to use a full round action to get up onto one of these guys.
Okay, so I'm gonna run up. I'm gonna make my movement, and then I'm going to take out one of my hand axes. I'm gonna raise it above my head and say, "Sup, bitches?" And I'm gonna throw one of my hand axes at him. But
Excellent.
first,
Not
I would like to rage.
Do it.
Yeah.
You rage well.
Ah! Okay. And now I'm going to attack.
Okay.
Yeah, why not? I will do the thing that I can do. Reckless? Reckless attack, yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, that's a natty 20.
Yay, yay.
Yeah.
Stick me, why not?
I mean, that's a natty 20, bitches.
This one's not dirty. This is the pure 20s.
Yeah. All right. So that's 1d6.
We got it
That's
straight
4
from the chest
times 2.
factory.
8 plus 2 is 10. 10 damage.
You just watch this hand axe just sink into this guy, and then he hits up against the wall and falls flat against the table and just stops moving. All right,
Oh my
so
gosh.
next up is going to be Caelum.
Oh, sorry.
That's you.
Like what? Okay, I guess he's gonna bang on his shield and cast Toll the Dead.
Okay.
It is a Wisdom DC. Where the fuck? Nani? 13.
He got a 14.
Aww.
Wiser than he looks.
Soon to be deader than he looks.
No, soon to be just about as dead as he looks, I would assume.
I'm gonna use my 30 feet movement to get right up in his face and just like shove my shield there, interpose it.
Okay.
It's a scimitar guy, right?
Yeah, this is the guy that he was going to pull his hand onto a blade of some sort, and now there are 2 elves and his friend has a hand axe through him. But he hasn't really had a whole lot of a chance to, like, say much of anything in these 6 seconds. Blake, it is your turn.
I have a crossbow out.
You do. A flamey, flamey crossbow.
It is flamey, flamey. Will a 13 hit?
13 does hit. Yeah, they look like they're just wearing, like, basic leathers.
Okay, so that is 10 points of piercing damage and 3 points of fire damage.
These guys didn't even stand a chance. Your arrow just like sinks into this dude and like pins him up, or your bolt just like pins him up against the wall, and you can hear it kind of like as the flames deal more damage going through him, but then they don't ignite the kind of damp boards behind him. But yeah, you guys have definitely handled those 2. I would like for all of you to make a perception check, and we're just going to keep your guys' initiative rolls how they were.
Perception.
15.
Okay.
18.
I rolled another 3.
Okay.
Woo!
So
That
Jingle, this is
is
very much like
30,
looking
20.
around. This was the right call. Gwen's a pretty strong person, but like she just made some strong friends.
Yes.
Dirty 20 from me.
Okay.
Ooh.
19 for me.
Okay.
You always got to one up me, Cori. Always got to one up.
So 2019. Caelum, what'd you get?
I got an 18.
18. And then Blake, what'd you get?
15.
All right. So you guys all hear, everyone except Jingle hears the sound of a clinking, of like a chiming bell, kind of deeper into where you guys are. As you have made quite a loud commotion for yourselves, especially with Caelum like banging on his shield, casting Toll the Dead on people. Yeah, you guys aren't exactly the quiet crew. So yeah, you guys hear a jingling bell, and looking down the corridor, you can see that it branches off to the left. And the
Jingle, that's
jingling
not you,
and
right?
the chiming seems to be coming from down that left-hand path.
It's like a warning bell.
It sounds like a bell.
Okay.
And
Hey, this guy had 5 aces.
Guys, we gotta move. We gotta move. They know we're here.
Running
Okay. Which direction?
toward it.
Right. Okay.
I like it.
Okay.
Just Naruto run over there.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, the sword is out and back, and the shield is in front. So.
Yeah, so you looking down this new hallway, you can see that at one point it splits into from where you guys are going, then 3 different ways, one going straight, one to the right, and one to the left after about 20 feet. And there seems to be light coming through on the rightmost path that you could then branch off down.
Get the jump on him.
All right, let's get him.
So
We're gonna jump him. What's our marching order?
What's your rushing order?
Marching. I said marching.
I know.
I'll say Coriander's in front. Because she's making a run for it.
Caelum will bring up the middle.
Blake might be in toward the back.
I'm running as fast as I can, so I'm behind everyone.
Okay.
Oh no.
Aw.
Jingle's trying to stay in the middle because she doesn't. Well, she wants to save her brother. She also wants to protect herself.
Fair.
There.
Good skills. Good skills to have as a rogue on the streets of Shroudport.
Yes.
So yeah, you rush forward, and you guys all then make that hard veering left, and you can see more more lamps just kind of hanging around to allow there to be more light. And as you rush into this room, looking around, you can see that there are about 6 barrels, 3 on each side of the 3 on each side of the room that you guys are in. And sitting in front of you, you can just see this very large, posh chair that has what looks like kind of worn red satin seats that goes back into like this very large, presentable chair. And you can see that there are about 3 other humanoid-shaped beings, all wearing paper mache masks that have one has a scimitar in both hands. There's another that has a crossbow trained up on the first person to run in the room, who would be Cori. And you can see that there is one wearing a dragonborn mask that has a cutlass in one hand as well. And they all seem to be like striking ready poses for you guys to all rush in. And as you do, Gwen, you feel a crossbow bolt sail from behind you and then kind of skitter into the room. As you see, there are about 4 more of these paper mache masked men coming from behind you guys to clamp you into this larger chamber.
Oh no.
Okay.
Tactically sound.
Technically sound.
I stop and put my hands up.
Okay.
All right, Big Cheese, you got us. You got us.
Okay. Just a second. Joke's over. You got us.
Yeah. Everyone just like, no, but seriously, you murdered like 2 of my guys.
All right. So yeah, you guys are all just like now getting led forward by this group of 4 that was behind you guys, as well as the 3 that have struck their ready stances. And you see the one with the 2 blades is like rubbing them against each other, just ha 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 ha, and he just keeps making that noise while he's just like kind of like shaving blades against each other. And as you say, all right, Curdle, like hands up, you just hear from behind the chair just as what looks to be a darker skin, almost to the point of like stone color or shale, almost like Caelum, pointed ears, bald, a little gnomish fellow comes out from behind a chair, just single clapping.
It's not me, it's you.
Well, what do we have here?
Oh my god.
This he then like kind of like looks at you guys and then sits up into this posh chair, and his feet don't come down all the way, like he's very much like little kid sitting in large chair, and you can see that he kind of like kicks them a little bit and then sets them right and just,
well, what brings you to my humble establishment if not to kill my men?
And Jingle kind of lashes out. I want my brother.
Oh, I'm sure we can get you your brother for a small fee. Maybe a little bit of work on the side. Always looking for a set of quick hands.
Roll?
you said to make a persuasion roll?
Intimidation.
Oh, intimidation. Yeah, you can make an intimidation roll against this guy.
All right. It's a 6. Dang it.
You just see this.
You're so cute.
You see this kind of like smirk appear on his face as you go to like, just give me back my brother, and him just.
Right, wish that I could, but everybody in the city's got a price on him. So unless you all have the cost to buy that brother back, maybe we could work out a deal. Maybe I'll just kill all of you, or enslave some of you, and ship you off as best I can to the Isles.
Are you saying that there was a bounty on his head, or are you saying that you can just take whoever you want?
Column A, column B. Not necessarily a bounty by city standards, mind you, but your friend's got sticky fingers. Been stealing from people who they shouldn't have been messing with. And then the lot of you, he motions to the 4 of you, this isn't the first time that you killed my men, have you? I'm not going to replace Ambrose. He was a good man. Sure, he cheated at cards, but he was fun to take watches with.
5 aces.
Could have been 6. You never know with that guy.
All right, look. Let him go, and we'll let you live.
Oh, you'll let me live? Me? Do you
You
see
know who
where
I
you
am?
are? You are within. You are within my maze. You're all just but mice and rats and other smaller things that aren't me rushing around here. But me, I know these places. I've built it. Not myself, of course. I hired people. Trustworthy people.
We got here, right? So, like, we can get out. And I'd rather die in this maze and have killed you than lived and know that you're still alive down here. I'm gonna be honest.
Then die. Boys, and he just kind of like motions with his hand.
Okay.
And
All right, man.
You guys let this happen. Don't let Gwen talk ever.
The entire time he's like, what is she doing?
you're gonna defuse the situation, right? What? Like, match?
What? We're gonna murder him.
Approach.
What?
All right, so
We killed those other guys in like not even a turn. It'll be fine.
all right, so as we are using the same initiative tracker that we did as you guys entered into here, it is actually time for the bandit that was like shinking his blades, just going ha ha, as he is going to come over and try and slash out against you, and he seems to be wearing a tiefling mask. To kind of like give himself a more sinister vibe. 3 doesn't hit, but will a 17
Hit me?
Yes.
Yes.
And you are no longer raging. That is correct.
Correct.
So he's going to deal a minimal 2 damage.
Okay.
As he strikes out against you with his second sword, and then you see one of the ones from behind you take a shot against Caelum, but an 11 does not hit with the crossbow. And then that is all that unit can do. Next up is going to be Cori and our dear friend crime boss Curdle.
How close is Mr. Curdle?
Curdle is he's about 30 feet. Or no, from where you guys entered in, he would be about 20 feet.
About 20 feet. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Oh, question. Which of us goes first?
What is your dexterity score?
My dex is a number that I can access
Via D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond.
My dex is 13. As
He's
everybody
actually
is
going to
looking
go
at my
first.
stats on this. Oh, okay. All right. That's fine.
He has a higher dex modifier. So
I'm not
he is
looking at that screen.
a little bit
infinite.
he's a little bit quicker. So you
That's
see
fine.
him pull out a small what looks like a tiny chisel or like mining pick. He just brings it back and he just throws it. And he throws it at the guy with the still on fire crossbow.
Solid choice.
He is going to get an 8 to hit. And then you see him get off his chair and kind of like kind of shuffle off to the side, so that way he's between the chair and the wall. And then he pulls out another small pick and he throws it at. He's gonna throw it at Gwen, as Gwen was talking a lot of smack.
Oh yeah.
Does an 18 hit?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So he is going to deal 6 points of piercing damage as that pick sinks into your shoulder.
Okay.
So Cori, it is your turn.
All right. Still within 30 feet, right?
Yeah.
All right. Every life has its worth. Face step right next to the guy, and have a sword right up to him.
Okay.
And say, "How much is your life worth, I wonder?" And let's try for a grapple. Actually,
Okay.
I would very much love to take the boss hostage if I can.
Take a bostage.
Hostage. And a grapple is just going to be a straight strength check. Yes.
That is going to be your
Alright.
athletics versus his acrobatics or athletics.
Much better. Okay. So a 13.
Okay. So yeah, you grapple this guy.
All right. Sword to the neck. If everyone would be so kind to stand down, I would very much like not to kill this gnome.
And
Loot him! Loot him!
you hear a group of people just the boss, and like they just seem to be like echoing it through, like from inside of their masks as they take note that you have taken their boss hostage.
Quick, shake him down. Get his money.
Welcome to high school.
So then next up is going to be Gwen. Gwen, you currently have 2 of these masked bandits on you, as well as you know that there are about 5 more of these bandits who aren't Curdle.
All right. I would like to rage.
Okay.
Rawr. And oh, that is equipment. And then I would like to. Does it seem like this situation has been would I be able to tell that this situation is being diffused, or does it seem like they are still aggressive?
Make an insight check.
It's +2, right?
Yep.
8.
So you're getting the reading that it's still probably a pretty tense situation.
It's on.
That
Let's
dude is
do
still
this.
saying haha at you while just like sharpening knives.
Oh yeah, no, he
His
is
scimitars.
going down. I'm going to attack him normally with my battle axe. Okay, that's 12.
12 does hit. These guys are
Yes!
not the most well defended.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna. What he looks like a tiefling.
Yeah, he has a tiefling mask.
Okay. So I'm gonna come in and try and hit him right in the calf or the thigh.
Okay.
And that does 9 damage.
He cries out in pain as you deal 9 points of damage to his leg, and you can feel his leg buckle on your axe, but he is not collapsing yet.
Okay. And I'm going to shift behind him.
Okay. Sounds good. So we have these guys. So then next up is going to be more bandits.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. And so there is Curdle looks up against you, Cori, and he says, "It's not just my men that you should be worried about." As you hear a set of snarling from behind you, as what looks to be a 2-headed dog just comes out with both of its heads and tries to bite out against you.
Okay then.
So a 10 does not hit, and a 10 doesn't hit.
Nope.
It's bad.
Dodge.
But yeah, so you see a creature that looks like this.
Oh boy.
Oh god.
Wow.
Bad dog.
It's a
Okay.
pupperino.
He's a mean pupper. But he is staring back at you, just this very thick saliva just leaving his mouth as it just snarls. As the other one is also doing that, but they're not doing it at the same time. It's very much just like looking big and mean and snarly at you. So
doggos.
then next up are 2 of the bandits that are standing next to one is next to Jingle, and it is going to try and grapple you, Jingle.
All right.
He got a 7.
Yeah, my luck has moved.
All right.
And then he is going to try. The second one is also going to try and snatch you up, as they seem interested in kidnapping you.
How'd you kids? How'd you wife?
It got a 22 on his athletics. So you can roll athletics or acrobatics against it.
Okay, so acrobatics looks good. I have the +5 bonus on it, so I rolled a 15.
Okay, so you try and maneuver out as one of these bandits just grabs you from underneath your arms, and just lifts you up, so your feet aren't on the ground anymore, and he's just sort of like trying to keep you in place. So that is it for those bandits. Then we have our final set of good bandits. And there are there's about 3 of them. And so one of them is going to slash out against Blake as you still have your on fire crossbow, and just have kind of been taking this whole scene in as it's unfolded. There's a lot of paper mache. It's almost curious. What are they doing to spend time to make all of these masks? Does a 15 hit? Okay. You take 4 points of slashing damage. And then second one is going to slash out against you. He gets a 11. All right. And then the third one is going to strike out against the one that it saw drive an axe into its friend's leg. And also just rolls poorly. It got an 8 against you, Gwen. So I'm assuming that doesn't hit.
Nope.
So, next up in the order, Caelum.
I look at the bandit holding Jingle, give him a stern look, and say, "Drop her," and cast command.
Oh,
Wisdom save 13.
he fails his wisdom save, so he just lets go. And Jingle, you are now released back onto your feet.
Ooh.
I'm gonna use my move action to like step in front of Jingle and the bandit and like just boop him with my shield lightly and just say, "So stay behind me. It'll be fine."
Got it.
Excellent. Blake, it is your turn after having just been slashed at by a bandit.
Oh, let me. Naughty.
How many of them are within a 30-foot line?
You could probably get at least 3 of them in a 30-foot line. 4 of them if you wanted to hit Gwen in the line as well.
Has Gwen proven to be very dexterous? I'll take 3 of them.
I
Okay.
am a halfling, so yes.
I'll take 3. I
Okay.
already can't save one of my friends. I don't want to hurt them all. So I need a dexterity save from those 3.
Okay. So, what are we looking to beat? So they got
12.
8, a 6, and a 6. So all of them are taking full.
They will all take 8 points of acid damage.
Ooh.
All right. So the one that Gwen had like hacked into the leg of, you managed to get this guy with the line as well. So when the acid hits him, it splashes on to the tiefling mask and just starts melting in. As he's like trying to stop it, more acid is just splashing onto his face, and eventually the guy just stops moving and collapses on the ground. Whereas the other two, you also just kind of like get them on the side of the face, or like one of them's ear is just kind of like melting off of his head as he's just kind of shrieking, looking at this kind of now hole that's in his paper mache half orc mask.
And then I want to train my crossbow on the big cheese.
Okay. Sounds good.
Who I'm holding?
Yep.
Cool.
Next up, Jingle.
All right. Now, I've never done this like just with a dice roll, so okay, what's in front of me?
So,
Wow.
standing in front of you there are 2 bandits within about a 5-foot range of you. There's one that Caelum has placed himself in between you and that bandit. And then there is the other one who also tried to grapple you. There is a third who is standing towards the back, and he was the one that had tried to shoot at Gwen with his crossbow. But it seems like the majority of them have all kind of moved forward to combat either Gwen or Blake.
So I'm going to take my longsword towards the nearest one in front of me first.
I believe you mean short sword?
Weapons, I do have a longsword.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Just so you know, you won't get sneak attack damage on a longsword because it doesn't have the finesse property.
Okay, then I will take the short sword instead.
Okay.
All right. Now, how do I do this? Because I have not done this like with real
So,
dice rolls.
with a short sword, you are going to be rolling a d20 and then adding your proficiency bonus and your dexterity modifier, which at this
Oh.
level should be +6, because you guys have +2 to your proficiency right now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so I rolled a 9, and you said proficiency and
And dex.
dexterity. 1 second.
Sure.
Okay, so I have a +3. Okay, so that'd be 12. All right.
Yeah. No, you totally hit this guy. So
Okay.
roll for damage. It is going to be 1d6 for your short sword, and then you get 2 extra d6 for your sneak attack, as you are within 5 feet of an ally.
1d6 plus dexterity.
Yep.
Okay, 1 second here. Okay, so I roll a 3, dexterity 3, so that's a 6.
Okay. So that was a d6, and then your dexterity modifier, and
It's
then
3.
2 more d6
Oh, 2
for
more.
your sneak
Okay.
attack,
Sneaky.
because you
Sneaky
rogue.
snake.
All right, so 1 second here. I rolled a 2, and I rolled a 4.
Okay. So spin for me your threat of fate. How are you dropping your bandit that you snuck attack?
Ooh.
Yes.
All right, so I imagine she just swiftly runs behind and then just
Okay,
stabs.
stand behind me.
Yep.
Oh.
She
Awesome.
and
Girl.
stabs behind.
Awesome. I love it. All right, so what would you like to do as your bonus action? As a rogue, you do get your cunning action, so you can disengage, dash, or if you want to go towards the shadows and try and hide there, you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna hide. Search for an opportunity.
Okay. So if you leave now, you would provoke an attack of opportunity because you still have somebody within 5 feet of you. But if you want to provoke, then you could rush back to the shadows and try and hide there.
You know what? I can still attack someone. I would say provoke.
Okay. Sounds good. So they're going to get a 19 on the dice, which I am assuming hits you. And then
yeah.
they deal 7 points of slashing damage.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
As you rush on by, but now that you have found yourself in a shadowy spot, make a stealth check.
All right. Stealth. Yeah, 18.
Okay. Yeah, so you just rush off into the stealth, and anybody who looked at you from this group just sees this tiny little crow person rush off and then fade into blackness.
Just
And using your skills of mimicry, you just kind of make the sound of feet like pitter-pattering off, running away, so it makes it sound like you're just booking it. Alrighty. So, then next up is the top of the initiative with one of the bandits who managed to avoid the acid, but now sees that his friends have, had acid thrown up on them. He's getting very concerned about his survival odds, so he is going to strike out against you, Blake. And get a 7 on the die, because he's not as good as his other friend was. Then that guy's dead. So, next up is the Big Cheese and Gwen. And Cori. So the Big Cheese is going to try and use this opportunity to wiggle himself free from Cori's grasp. So he got a 9 on his athletics or on his acrobatics check to try and wiggle out.
Dice don't fail me now. That's not a failure. 11 plus 4, 15.
So he tries to wiggle out, and you just maintain your grip on him while this two-headed dog is standing right behind you.
And menacing me.
Oh, he's menacing. He's menacing quite heartily.
Now, question.
Sure.
Can I one-handed grapple this guy and then like go after the dog with my other hand?
Yeah, you don't have to spend your action to maintain the grapple.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna try and stab the dog.
Do it.
Though I'm pretty sure since my other hand is now occupied with a gnome, I don't have a shield.
Yeah.
Shield
You have
situation.
human shield.
That's not great.
He's 2 AC.
You say to the paladin. That's not great, actually. 10?
Okay.
Probably not gonna do it.
So a 10 does not hit. As you go to swing down, Curdle like takes that opportunity to like elbow you in the gut, so your sword kind of goes off. As he's just just wriggling around, just
Get your filthy hands off of me!
trying his best to just to wiggle himself free.
You are moving an awful lot for somebody who has a sword to his neck.
Oh, you took the sword off my neck to attack my dog! Like,
Well, it's back
You
now.
guys are just
so-
having like this little bickering match in the heat of combat. So next up is going to be Gwen. You are currently being menaced by only 2 bandits now, as one of them took a lot of acid to the face and then dropped.
All right, cool. I would like to attack the one who has not been hit the most. So
Okay.
one of them wasn't hit by acid, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to attack him.
Do it.
Please. Okay. Oh. Gosh, this dice likes to go everywhere. That's a 14.
14 hits.
And that's 8 damage.
Okay.
And then so I'm gonna hit him I'm gonna like try and slice him behind the knee as I like slide around him, and then I'm gonna hit the other guy. Or I'm gonna try to hit the other guy with my other hand. So that's a 9.
Okay. So a 9 does not hit, but the first guy does look. He looks very hurt from you slashing against his legs, and there's getting to be a small splattering of blood around the ground where you are, and as usual, none of it's yours. So works out pretty well.
I'm gonna.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So then next up is the big pupper, and he is going to attempt to bite out against Cori. And I'm assuming an 11 doesn't hit.
Nope.
Okay.
Those dice.
And a 13.
No.
He is rolling so bad.
He's playing.
He's just playing. He's playing right now.
Imagine the dog heads are just fighting with each other.
Yeah. Oh no.
So then next up is going to be 2 very hurt bandits. One of them has been hurt by Blake throwing up on them, and the other has been hurt by getting his leg slashed to ever-loving shit by our tiny rager. So, the one that you just slashed is going to attempt to slash out against you.
Okay.
Does a 13 hit?
My armor class is 14.
All right. Second one that
Like,
you
I
just
don't want
tried
someone to
strike
hit me at this point, man. I feel bad.
Yeah, no, they just keep whiffing. Like, this guy's like mask is off slightly, so he's not getting the best strike, and he also got lower than a 10 on his roll to attempt to hit you. So the one is finally going to strike out against Blake. God damn, that is a 7.
No.
This is recompense for last week.
I
Wait a
know.
minute. Yeah.
It feels pretty good.
D&D gods are in our favor.
All right.
And you've spoken it.
Knock on wood there.
And then one of them is going to strike out against Caelum as it realizes that magical effects have taken hold of him. And he is not too kind about that. That's a 3 on the dice. So again...
Dude,
nope.
just start lying, man.
Nah.
Prerogative.
It'll be fine. So then next up is going to be Caelum.
Cool. I have some options. I could probably... Yeah, why not? So Caelum's going to pivot on his leg, turn, and then throw his spear at the two-headed dog.
Okay.
And then hopefully hit. Hey, that's a 15.
That hits.
Cool. 1d6. 7 damage. 7 piercing.
That does a pretty decent hit.
And as he spins back around, he reaches like into his shield and pulls out like this mace.
Okay.
He's like, you should probably run.
Ew.
To the guy in front of him.
Oh, okay.
He just looks at you like... like, yeah, I'll do that.
I'm not even blowing a command. You should run.
So then, Blake, it is your turn.
What do I know about monstrous two-headed dogs?
So as your monster hunting self, this would probably be pretty good. So make a history check.
17.
So you would know that monstrous two-headed dogs they're prime candidates for any kind of gang leader or somebody who wants to make an impression. They're very, very low on the monstrosity food chain in terms of like difficulty to find, but their ferocity still isn't something that you necessarily want to mess with. And you do know that their bites are known to cause a poisonous effect.
They're not. Would I know if they are or are not resistant to fire damage?
They are not resistant to fire damage. They are not hell beasts. They are not fiends. They are simply just weird two-headed dogs.
Good to know. I'm gonna shoot it.
Okay. What a game where you can say simply two-headed dog.
But first, this is within 60 feet of me.
Yep.
I am going to invoke my blood curse of the marked.
Ooh.
Oof. What is that?
What'd that do?
Sounds bad.
I don't know what this does.
Does a 14 hit?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to do 10 points of piercing damage with my crossbow. And 2 points of fire damage, which because of my curse of the marked is doubled to 4.
Woo!
As just the flame burns even brighter for like half a second, and where Blake cut himself in order to activate the crossbow just starts dripping a little bit more blood.
Dang. Badass. And you, when the spear comes, and then this crossbow bolt comes and hits the hellhound, you hear Curdle yell out, "Ricotta, no!"
Aww.
As you guys continue pelting into his pet.
Threaten the dog.
Nice dog you got there. Shame if something would
Jingle,
happen.
it is your turn.
Who is?
Jingle.
Oh,
Jingle.
all right. So, Jingle is still hiding in the corner in the shadows, and, she's going to bring out that crossbow. And that one guy who threw the ice pick and it really hurt, friend, she's going to attack.
Okay, so take your shot at the mob boss Curdle.
All right. Quick question: how do I do this for
Okay.
crossbows?
So crossbow is same thing, dexterity plus proficiency, and then add both of those numbers to your die roll.
Okay, dexterity plus proficiency. I don't think I really have much proficiency.
Your proficiency should be a +2.
Okay. All right, so that'd be 5, and then I rolled a 17 out of a d20.
Yeah, you totally hit this guy. So you, Connor, is it a D8?
For a light crossbow, it is a D8.
Okay.
For a hand crossbow, it would be a D6.
Okay, so you would have, I believe, a light crossbow. So roll a D8, and you also get your sneak attack damage on this, as this guy is currently preoccupied with a party member.
1 second here, rolling a d8. I rolled a 3.
All right. So he takes 3 points. And that was with your 2 D6 sneak attack?
2d6 sneak attack. Let's see what I get there. I got a 2, and I've got a 4.
Okay, so that is a total of 9 damage.
Nice.
Woo!
Nice.
You're so badass. I don't even know where you are.
Yeah, you look over and you just see from the shadows just this bird with a crossbow up, who has taken a shot at the big boss himself. Would you like to dash, disengage, or hide as your bonus action?
Dash.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit closer towards that one guy.
Okay, sounds good. So yeah, you get a little bit deeper into this chamber, and so you're getting closer to Curdle, who's currently in kind of grips with your friend Coriander, or are you getting near just any of the other bandits who seem to be engaged with your friends?
Probably. Well, she probably doesn't want to stay close towards that dog, so maybe a little bit closer to the bandits, closer to where she was.
Okay. So yeah, you kind of go
Now I
back
think
towards
about it.
back nearer towards where Caelum was, kind of using
Yeah, she
him
has
as
some survival.
Yeah. Sounds good. All right, so then next up is the top of the round with one of the bandits that just hasn't, like, he was the one that you struck out against, Gwen, but he didn't take any damage. God, he's got a 7. This is really bad. So then next up is Curdle.
Oh no.
What is he going to do? So
I guess you could say it was a blood-curdling scream.
Get out of here. Get out of
Love. Yes.
So what he is going to do is that he is going to try once again to escape Cori's grasp. So he got a 17.
Oh boy.
Good. Let's see if I can beat it. I rolled a 19 on the die.
Yes.
You can't get away from me.
So
You
I also realized I didn't show a picture of this deep gnome.
Yeah,
Ah.
Yep.
I figured the squat knows.
Yep. And he's just
Yay.
still like struggling and doing his best to try and get out, but to no avail. So then next up is Cori.
That's me. All right. I'm gonna try and get that dog again,
Okay.
And your little dog too.
and your little dog too. Why do I roll so well and then I don't?
No.
This is an 11.
Okay.
Probably isn't gonna work.
No, an 11 does not hit.
All right.
Sounds good. So, that was Cori's turn. So next up is Gwen.
Okay, so there's still 2 people around me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to try to hit them. I gotta hit them now, okay? I'll be back. No,
You can do it.
Okay, no, you want to be up here. All right, don't knock my dice.
Cat dice.
No, you're too big. This can't. Natty 20.
Destroy
Yes,
them.
you are my lucky dice. I don't know what happened last week, but bad.
Making up for it this time.
Yeah, right. I forgive you, man. All right, so I'm going for the dude that I hit last time
Mm-hmm.
with my battle axe.
Do it.
That is 8 plus 2, right? 8 plus 2, 10 damage.
Okay. That just drops the guy. The one that you had already injured?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. No, he did.
All right, cool.
He real dead.
So I hit him in the back of the leg. I tried to hit the other guy. I come back and I hit him. I'm gonna hit him like in the lower stomach.
Okay.
This is what I can reach. Okay.
No, that's all fair. All fair.
It's fair in love and gnomes.
And then I'm going to try to attack the other guy.
Okay.
Just when you think you had a bad stomach ache.
That's an 8.
All right. An 8 does not hit.
I even forgive you for that, man. Net 20s.
All right.
Just keep me coming back.
So next up is the pupper, and it is actually going to try and use its action to bite out at you, Cori, in an attempt to help free Curdle.
All right, bring it.
19 on the die. Finally.
Oh.
Finally.
Oh.
So I'm going to need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. That it will be 13.
Okay. So you take 7 points of piercing damage as this dog bites into your arm that's been holding Curdle, and your grip slightly lessens on how you've been kind of just like cradling him in one arm while also attacking, and you feel a wash of poison go over your body, but then you just shake it off, and you feel your divine powers at work, just kind of like shrugging off this poison as it enters into your body. So it is going to then use its other bite to make a athletics check against you to try and free Curdle with its other mouth. Thank you, dice gods. I got an 18.
Oh, okay. And this is going to be against my athletics, right?
Yes.
Okay. Ugh.
Oh.
16.
All right. So this doggo pulls Curdle free from your clutches.
Doggo.
All right. So next up is going to be one of the injured bandits, who is going to try and strike out against Blake, as he's been doing like every turn. No. I need new dice. I'm even using my I bought these dice specifically to GM this campaign.
They're failing you.
They fail.
I'll just look at him.
They just you just see this kind of defeated shoulder slump down, but he's wearing the mask, so it doesn't betray his expression. All right, and Gwen, does a 15 hit you?
Yes.
Okay.
Do it.
You are going to take 8 points of slashing damage, reduced to 4 because you're raging.
Yeah.
Alrighty, sounds good. So that was those guys, and then one very injured fellow is going to try and strike out. Or no, I guess he wouldn't be. So it would have been 2 injured guys that struck out against Blake and Gwen, because there's an uninjured man who Caelum is told to run. And he just sort of like, he looks at the situation, looks at you, and just, promise you won't opportunity attack?
I pinky promise.
He just nods and starts like shuffling off towards the back.
That's it. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so he starts running, and he gets to the curve of the hallway and starts going out. So he is now gone from this initiative, as far as I am concerned. So then next up was that guy, and so we are at Caelum.
So 2 injured people fighting Blake. I look over to him. He's fine. Like, raise a thumb.
Oh yeah. Like he has a dude in front of him that's like, and like trying his best to like strike out.
Cool. So, Caelum takes a step backwards and disappears into the, like, puff of feathers.
Okay.
And then appears, so it's going to be Cori, Curdle, Dog, and then Caelum to the side.
Okay. So you are on the other side of Curdle?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he just, hi.
He just looks up at you. What the? Can you all do this? What the hell? He's just going to try and clonk him.
Yeah, he's like, what the? Clunk.
Okay.
What is... I'm alright if you're alright. And I'm okay. 16. Yeah.
All right. A 16 does hit.
5 bludgeoning.
Okay. So yeah, he gets hit for 5 points of bludgeoning damage. Blake, it is your turn.
Dog's still up.
Dog is still up.
Dirty 20 to hit.
That totally hits.
Yeah.
Looks like max crossbow damage, which is going to be 11 points of piercing and 4 points of fire.
All right. So, spin for
Such
me
a
your
boss.
tails.
Aha!
How you dropping this death dog?
So as soon as like the dog wrenched Curdle from Cori's hands, one of the heads picks it up, the other one just sort of glances over at me, and I'm gonna like just poke it in the eye, and that burning carmine flame is just gonna catch its entire eye socket on fire, and it's gonna be nasty.
Oh yeah, it does not smell pretty. As it kind of hits, you see just viscera kind of shoot out the back of its skull as you seem to have ruptured the bone, kind of holding it together. So it's just like just mushing out onto the ground with this bolt still sizzling from inside.
Ugh.
Are we done
Lovely.
here?
All right, next up is Jingle.
Yay! All right.
So Jingle, you saw one guy just rush off to leave, seeming to have been done with his life of crime. And then you see that Gwen currently has one assailant on her, and then there is a heavily injured assailant. There is a heavily injured assailant that is currently on Gwen and Blake.
And then also the main
and
guy.
then the big cheese, and he just got clocked in the face.
All right. So I'm going to help Gwen out by using the crossbow again.
Okay.
Probably getting the one who's a little, not less damage, the one that's got a little bit more HP to him. So I rolled the 20. That was a 19.
Yeah, 19 hits.
Nice.
All right. And you said D8 as well?
Yes.
Okay. 2.
8 plus dex. Plus dex.
Plus the
Plus your 2d6
Plus-
for sneak attack.
yeah, and plus the proficiency, so that'd be 5 5 plus, that'd be 7.
Yeah. No, so the one that, Gwen, the one that you're fighting, like, he looks down and you would assume bares his teeth at you. Like, you just hear from inside the mask, just, "Roar!" And then a crossbow just goes right through the side of the mask and pops out the other, and he just stops moving, and then just tilts off to the side and just drops against the floor as a pool of blood starts appearing around him as well.
I give a little salute. I don't know where she is. I'm sure she's hiding somewhere, but I know I'm giving a signal. Yeah.
It's the same pose, but in a different place. Like, you just copy-pasted the asset into a different part of the cell.
Yeah. Yep.
So that is your turn. Then there is one uninjured guy who has been trying to strike against Blake this whole time. He's just trying to... God damn. That's 7. Like, he's just... Like, you can see that he's just defeated. Like, please. Please. But he does not seem to be doing very well against you. So that is his turn. Then next up is the cheese himself.
Jeez.
And as he has freed himself, I would like for you guys all to make perception checks.
All right.
12.
11.
Okay, so 12, 11.
19.
19's good.
11.
20, not dirty.
Okay, so everybody in your chambers hears more sees than anything. But the bandit that had like no opportunity attacks and like he ran off, you see his body just fly into the room. But you can see that one of his arms is bent backwards, so bone is jutting out. You can see that there is no face underneath the inside of this paper mache mask. Like, this guy has just been completely beaten to a bloody mass. And you hear, just very calmly, very collectedly, just... walking sounds down this hallway. And as the light splays onto this figure that walks in, you can see that there is a small set of spectacles being just kind of cleaned by a handkerchief. And you see a white dragonborn with blood on his knuckles just sort of looks up. And just shrugs, and you hear Curdle just, fuck this! And like, you look down, and this little gnome just he disappears. He just turns invisible right there from in between you guys, and you hear a scuffling noise as a small little slat on the side wall pops open and then shuts back down, as you assume this invisible little dwarf has now raced off deeper. This invisible gnome has raced off deeper into the sewers. And you see Skavix, the guard captain, kind of looking amongst all of you. I told you all not to get into trouble. And at that, you see that there are other guards, other members of the guards coming in, and one of them actually has Jingle, whose hands are in tiny little handcuffs. And he just raises them up, shows fingers. And that is where we are going to call it for the evening. As the big cheese...
Slaughterhouse!
As the guard captain, Skavix Slaughterhouse, has appeared, just wiping blood off of his knuckles, questioning you all as to why you are standing in a room full of bodies, as well as illegal contraband. But we are going to have to come back to that next week. So before we go, I would like to say first first of all, thank you so much to Chrissy from Tales of Swordfall for joining us on this epic adventure as Jingle. I hope that I hope you go back with tales of fun and joy and not horror, because you know we like to have a good time here on the Indoor Adventure Cast. But that is that for me. Other than, hey, you can find me here on Twitch, where on Wednesdays I play video games, make D&D characters. On Saturdays I play the Neverwinter MMO. So you should, if anybody else plays the Neverwinter MMO, you should find me and we'll totally be best friends. It'll be rad. But you didn't come to the show just for me. You also came for everybody else. So first off, Chrissy, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for being such an awesome guest. Where can we find you? What do you do?
All right, so you could find me at VRYRDMButterfly on Twitter or Very Random Butterfly on YouTube. I do weekly videos. I do videos of just random things, thrifting, art, gaming, whatever. Sometimes I do amateur comics, but yeah, and stuff like that.
That's awesome. Thank you. And then for Tales of Swordfall, when do you guys play? Where do you upload your episodes to?
We play every Wednesday. Let's see, they upload on YouTube, but they also upload on other sites. 1 second. Would help if I actually... 1 second here.
That's totally fine. I know where I find you guys is on Anchor FM, and from posting our own podcast there, they do a great job of distributing that podcast out to all the other major listening networks.
Yes, they're both on YouTube and Anchor.
Awesome.
Which it's anchor.fm/swordfalldnd.
All right, awesome. Next up, RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey, I'm Justice. I play Caelum here at Indoor Adventure. You can find me at my link somewhere at the bottom, like right here at RJustice282 on Twitter, where I talk about nerdy things and take pictures of my day.
All right. Next up, LB, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hi. You can find me on Twitter sometimes. I don't know. I've been thinking about streaming. I play Overwatch, and that's pretty much it. But
Do it.
I'll let you know when that happens. That's it.
All right, sounds good. And Connor, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hi, you can find me at Twitter at Cyberwolf1201, where I tweet about random shitposty stuff and airline difficulties and D&D and Critical Role, because you know that's fun. You can also find me here on Twitch. I am a variety streamer where I play video games badly, and I talk about the lore because you know that's pretty fun. I have a fun little other project that might be going up there sometime pretty soon that I was excited about. You can also find me on Pro Restarters channel on Saturdays for a few more weeks while we try to get through the second half of that campaign, where I play another 5th edition character with ties to dragons. And what else am I doing? Open for Adventure. You can find lots of really cool people on twitch.tv/openforadventure, where I'm not a regular cast member, but I'm helping out behind the scenes and shitposting in chat. So, yeah, cool stuff.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And also, that Pro Restarter game is super fun. I like hanging out just so that way I can throw bits for the bit god at you guys. It's really fun. I would recommend checking out that Saturday game. It really is a blast. And then, Danae, where can we find you? What do you do?
I am Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do drawings, and I also do commissions. Mostly everything is related to Dungeons and Dragons, but you can also find other things. And I also do an adjacent doodle stream, and I'm pretty sure you can find all those links in the doobly-doo. And that's me.
All right. So, until next week, we will see you guys later. And again, super thanks. Super thanks to Chrissy for coming out. That was awesome. And I can't wait to find out where our story goes from here, thanks to you leading us down into the deep sewers. So, until next week, we will see you guys later. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.
Monday.
Bye.
Monday.